Dreams are a curious thing, aren't they? How the fairy tale can so easily be contorted into terror. How they can seemingly switch genres from one moment to the next. Allow me to welcome you to Nobuhiko Obayashi's masterpiece of madness, House. The story of 7 young girls who head out to the countryside for an idyllic summer getaway, only to be swallowed into phantasmagoric shadows, where one by one they're made meals of by everything from ravenous nukekubi, haunted musical instruments, and a motley gallery of other murderously wicked household furnishings. Beds and clocks and flying wooden blocks, a completely crazed kaleidoscopic cavalcade of candy-colored carnage. Now, that all probably sounds like some manic fever dream spilled from the depths of a juvenile mind, but I promise you, there is a method to all this madness. House is a strange film, with strange intentions, and all its component parts, from its rough-edged, amateurish effects and schizophrenic editing, to its bizarre and, let's say, inconsistent character logic, were all designed specifically to make the film feel as if a child were recounting to you the events of some horrific nightmare they had just woken up from, which begins to make a lot more sense once you consider the identity of this film's co-writer. This is Chigumi Obayashi, Nobuhiko Obayashi's daughter, who was just 10 years old at the time her father consulted her for this script.
大切なことは僕はいつも子供と相談するんです。なぜかというと、大人は自分が分かることしか考えないから人間のレベルだからつまらない。子供はね、分からないことと向き合うのね。不思議なことが面白い。映画の力は分かったことではない。不思議なことが面白い。
Children, for obvious reasons, don't usually influence the horror genre in this direct a fashion. It's usually filmmakers indirectly recalling horrors from their own childhoods, things we all think scared us when we were young. But those experiences get hazy as we get older. We often forget the absurdity of our fears when we were children. As adults, we want to rationalize everything. Take our fear, diagnose it, sort it, label it, put it in a neatly wrapped phobia with a list of common symptoms. But Obayashi wanted to capture the uncompromised imagination of that horror while it was still pure and immediate in the mind of a child, before being corrupted by the plague of adulthood, like the fear of that hungry piano lid snapping at your fingers during lessons, or the creepiness of dusty antiques and the idea of being trapped inside that loud old grandfather clock at the end of the hall, or getting so tired you feel as if you're being swallowed up by your own bed. But his daughter's nightmares weren't the only childhood fears he drew inspiration from. You see, Obayashi was born January 1938 in Hiroshima Prefecture. A normal life in a normal city. He was raised by his grandmother, he liked to draw and make up stories. And at 7 years old, in the August of 1945, a 15-kiloton atomic bomb was dropped on the edge of his hometown. Friends, family, childhood. Now, just a little boy, and nothing left. Obayashi said that day birthed an artist's heart, and he chose to use cinema as his language to convey that feeling to those left around him, that sense of absolute loss that he felt in that moment. How your life can seemingly switch genres from one moment to the next. Just like those girls entering the house, he was no longer afforded the luxury of living in the technicolor dreamscape of a children's fairy tale. In a violent flash of light, his life too had become a horror story. Horror can so easily feel like a product, something manufactured for midnight scares, something disposable. And that's not what this is. This is a work poured directly from the heart of a man and the mind of his daughter. Two people who, through each other, found a way to work through their fear, and turn it into something loud and colorful and absurd. A sort of familial therapy session through cinema. And I love that. I've always loved horror as an avenue for catharsis, a way of dealing with trauma in a controlled environment, both for artist and for audience. You get a chance to apprehend that fear, sort of form an alliance with it. When it's on celluloid, you're able to put a frame around it. You can get close to it and examine it, make some sense of it for yourself, even if it looks like nonsense at arm's length. But that's the beauty of it. It's pure lunacy and chaos. You got a man turning into a fucking pile of bananas, and at the same time, it's self-portraiture. It's deeply intimate and soulful, and so much more than just the style piece it's reputed as. A truly one-of-a-kind experience, and a personal favorite of mine. I've yet to see anything else like it in my life. So, do me a favor, watch this movie if you haven't, watch it again if you have, and let's all take that lesson from the Obayashi family, that we can reclaim our fears, traumas, and anxieties, and turn all those horrible nightmares into something loud and colorful and beautifully insane. Now, before I let you go, I want to encourage you to head over to Nebula if you're interested in seeing these videos or others like it early and ad-free, as well as getting to see tons of great series from all your favorite creators. But you'll also get exclusive access to shows like the Nebula original series Working Titles, where each video takes an analytical deep dive into the various opening credit sequences from television shows and video games like True Detective and Quake. And when you sign up for Nebula, you also get access to Curiosity Stream, a streaming service that hosts thousands of documentaries and nonfiction content, like the new 12-episode series Great Film Composers that I've been checking out lately, which charts the evolution of film music all the way from its genesis up to the modern day. And if you sign up using the link, you'll get 26% off, so you'll get a package deal of Nebula and Curiosity Stream together for less than $15. Plus, on top of getting access to two great services, you'll also be helping out independent creators at the same time, which is always appreciated. So sign up today by clicking the link or by going to curiositystream.com/kaptainkristian. Thank you for watching, and thanks for sticking around. Take care.